My name is Karl. Thanks for joining me here. Today is number one in a series of 18 happiness hacks based on the book by Karl called 18 Rules of Happiness. And today I want to talk about self-pity. That's hack number one, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Sometimes it's so easy for us to kind of wallow in our stories of self-pity and think about, why did this happen to me? How come all those other people succeed? What am I doing? And, we get caught up in these stories and you kind of wallow in self-pity. And so this hack is really to, just stop repeating those stories to yourself and get over it, which is all very easy to say. So how do you get over it? It's really a matter of perspective. A lot of times when things happen to us, we can see it from like a negative viewpoint, but what I like to do instead is to say, okay, this has happened to me. What am I not seeing? What am I not seeing? What can I learn from this situation? And about 2 years ago, I was laid off from my job in corporate. I was a fashion designer. I'd worked in fashion for more than 15 years, and I found myself laid off. And it's one of those points when you could say, how could they do this? And why did they do this to me? And blah blah blah. I could have blamed everybody and anybody for the situation, but the truth is, I'd actually been unhappy in my job for a couple of years before that, and so, but I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what else to do. I was making kind of decent money, and I didn't really know what else to do. So when it came up, and I can't even say that, even at that point I said, okay, I'm going to do something else, because I didn't, it was all I knew how to do. So the first thing that I did was actually to get another job, just doing what I knew how to do. But, as it kind of got closer to kind of actually making decisions, say, okay, yes, I'm going to accept this position, I actually kind of bailed out, because I just knew that I was just very unhappy working in corporate, and I needed to find a change. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I needed to do something different. And so, was the situation unfair? Yes, possibly. But when those things happen, it doesn't really achieve anything to kind of wallow in self-pity, I guess the thing is. And so, instead of doing that, you can look at the situation and say, okay, what is the good that I can find in this situation, and just accept what it is, and then move on. One of the things that's kind of interested me recently is kind of looking at the stories of people who have succeeded, and it's always fascinating to me. You look at their stories to see how they moved on and progressed from it. So because a lot of the time we kind of find ourselves defining ourselves by our circumstances, and it doesn't have to be that way. I think about Oprah Winfrey, like the first job that she had with the TV station, she was actually fired from the job because of incompetence, I think it was, or something. But like some of us, that's the first thing that happens, and then we say, oh God, I'm just not good enough, I can't do this, and that becomes our life, right? We never actually move past that point. Think about Steve Jobs, who built his multi-million company, from his 20s. I think by the age of 23, he was a millionaire and went to build Apple. And then in his 30s, at the height of, of course it went to other heights, but at the height, they were doing incredibly well. He was actually fired very publicly from the company Apple. In fact, actually, I don't think they fired him. They actually put him in some back office, which they called Siberia, which basically humiliated him. It's like a public humiliation. And he actually went into depression, I think, for about a year. But then he said, okay, I love what I do, and I was going to do something different. And then he went on to create Pixar, and went back to Apple with even more success. But just people reel off these stories about people who are successful, and they just never give up, and it always seems like it's like brute force, just to kind of go through it and just keep on going. But I think that the real thing is that what you have to do is just accept what is. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. It's like it's insane to try and make something that is anything else other than it actually is, because it is what it is. when something happens, it's not the event that defines us, it's the meaning that we give to it. And so how can we lessen that negative meaning, right? How can we look for the good in the challenges that happen to us? As a coach, one of the things that I've found is that a lot of the times things will happen to me, and it's really kind of reflecting back to me the things that I need to work on. And so, like, a lot of the clients that will show up, the issues that they have will be issues that I need to work on myself. And so, it's a very fulfilling role in terms of I get as much from the relationship as my clients, which is amazing. And so, it's a different way of looking at challenges. How can I get something for it? Like, what is the good in this that I'm not getting? So anyway, so that's marketing hack number 1. Oh my goodness, it's 6 minutes. This is much too long, but I hope you got some value from it. You can find more on mycreativelifesecrets.com. I'll probably link below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. This is Caroline Shadrack.